Hi guys, it's Wah.
Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docu-series.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be a little peppery, a little spicy, a little salty, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet, honey.
Yes, so today's episode is 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 7, Episode 9, Bad Blood.
Now we got bad blood and some problems, and we can't solve them. Now we got bad blood. Hey! Great, Wah. You know what? Taylor Swift just dropped Midnights at midnight, and Wah just got an earful of like a morning Chris Farah just shrieking in her ear. You know, she's just had to sit here and listen with a face of like, I'm not going through hell.
No, it's just that, like, yeah, yeah, the shriek is so real. Okay, so let's just first talk about Jovi and Yara, only because I have several clips from them, and we got to talk about it. So we start with them. They're getting ready for the airport, and this whole time I really thought that Mila didn't really mess with Miss Gwen that much because she hasn't seen her in a minute, but it's not true. This episode, Mila was all about her Mima.
Yeah.
She was all about that babushka.
Yeah.
She said, who are you two?
Yeah.
I don't want to go with you. I would like to stay with her.
Yeah.
It was really cute. I just thought their little travel outfit was cute too. Mila in her little pink pajamas.
Look at those pearls. She's wearing, listen, there are pearls around her neck that Yara put. You understand what I'm saying? Pearls. He's in cream, her favorite color, beige or cream. She's in pink, and then, you know, they look soup's cute. You know, Yara didn't do a lot of travel makeup. She was like barefaced, you know, but I mean, stealing the show was a Mila who was just so adorable, you know?
She was not barefaced. She had on like lashes or like.
She didn't have lashes. She had eyeliner on. I'm sorry. She just like, she was kind of, well, no, I feel like she had just foundation on, but like no eye makeup on. She had like what looked like a BB cream, like a dewy BB cream that just kind of washed her out. I didn't see not nary any like.
Oh, I'm gonna let you be the person that. Oh, so okay. What you're saying is she was wearing. Okay, I understand. I'll let you be the people who understand what fair-skinned folks' makeup look like.
Go back to her face. Let's go back to her face. Okay.
She has on eye makeup.
Oh,
for sure.
You're right.
She has on some kind of lip tint. Yeah, she doesn't have contour on, but contour doesn't make you not have makeup on. Contour is just like something that you. Okay, great. So she's her eyebrows.
You're right.
Great, we're good. So they go to the airport, and this whole airport situation, like, first of all, listen, they leave the house, and I don't mean to just have a picture of Yara's butt, but if you just look to the right of your screen, you're going to see all of the things that they just leave out on the counter. They're going to be gone for 2 weeks. You just don't leave those things out. I mean, it's water, but also here's a close-up of it in case you just really want to zone in and see what it is. It's an Aquafina water. It's a cup of water. It's like whatever that other thing is that's laying on its side, what looks like a giant Blistex like thing, and I'm just like, I don't believe this scene. This was a fake leaving the house scene.
That looks like a vape pen package. I don't know what it is, but it's like, yeah, so many bottles of water and a cup of and the cup, it looks like it's a fresh cocktail with what looks like
it's a fresh cup of water.
A rim also. Oh, is it?
Yeah, because Jovi was drinking it. It's a fresh cup of ice water. That
if Jovi's been drinking it, I say it's a cocktail. I say there's alcohol in there.
Okay. Yeah, because he did have alcohol when they got to the airport. He had a beer in his hand when they were walking through. And so we've stopped that narrative of him being just like this wild drunk. But, you know, he might be. Yeah. So they get to the airport, and Jovi almost breaks his ankle trying to unload the items out of this car. You can see this picture. I caught this picture of him fully in the air, catching air. It's raining. Yeah. Mrs. Gwen is driving them to the airport.
Yes.
And on the way there, Jovi makes some very xenophobic remarks about not having to learn the language to speak to his mother-in-law, which I know is a joke, but TLC, but Matt Sharp or whoever edited this just wants us to think of him as just such an American, whatever the word is.
He gives the gift of saying such shitty shit on TV, though. He knows he's being taped, you know? I think that I understand, though, because sometimes I like bratty humor. Like I'll do bratty humor, but the joke is that I'm a brat, like which isn't, like if someone has a date to come to me, like it's that kind of thing. But whatever. I think that Jovi and Yara pretty much have like a full good relationship. So any drama is to be had is like not really real.
Yeah, but let's just watch him with the hang time. Let's jump out of that. Mm-hmm. Look at him. Mm-hmm. And he goes back to do it again. Let's watch it again. For those of you who are on Patreon, you get to see the full video of this. We're pulling up, it's raining. Just jumps from the bed of that truck with luggage in hand, and the luggage is filled with things, and doesn't like break an ankle, nothing, just like real sprightly, just real 20s. He's giving I'm 20. And also for me, because of the work he does like on that boat, I don't know what that man does. He probably has a really good body.
I don't know. I mean, he says that he has a dad body or whatever, but he still like has some like, athletic prowess to him. I think that sometimes I miscalculate what someone can do with their body, who especially has done athletic stuff in their like childhood and life, because I didn't have that life. And so I think that they have a certain amount of like body confidence and trust in what they can do, and like they exercise that more than I do, because I feel like at any time I could break anything and probably will.
Yeah, and it took me a long time to really like soak into the fact that that's what Chris's life is like, because every time, like to this day, I still don't believe some of the ailments that she says she has. Like
Ailments?
she'll be plantar fasciitis, like eczema. Every time you tell me you have a new thing, I'm always like,
but that's eczema.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't show you my plantar fasciitis, but it's there. It's there.
I didn't believe her plantar fasciitis.
Why don't you believe eczema? You think that's a weird thing? Look at my finger.
No, I see it. But like,
I have 2 spots right here. I'll show you. Right now?
No.
I'll show you.
No.
Do you want to see it?
No, I don't. Do
you want to see my
but
eczema?
I guess just because I don't have those things, like I'm like, she can't have them. Those that's for like my friend is just delicate. She just has a very like delicate constitution. She's
I do.
Like, yeah, and I just, part of me doesn't believe it.
I would have died if we were like at any other time, like super, probably already,
Yeah, I believe you now. Like we'll be walking normally on a street that has nothing, and she'll fall.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, how did that happen? Like how the interconnected between her brain and some of the times when her limbs move, there's not a connection sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I don't have good body confidence. I don't trust my body. I have good body confidence when it comes to being naked. That's fine. Like I'll go to a Korean spa and take my clothes off in front of any person. I mean, legally, I guess I can't do it as a man. I mean, I won't take
as
my clothes
off.
Sorry, confusing. If I went to a Korean spa, I can't take my clothes off in front of men. But what I'm trying to say is that I will take my clothes off in front of men. It's very easy for me to do so, but I will not trust my body in movement of athletic things because it's failed me. Okay, so shall we talk about the show? So
let's continue talking about your ailments. So, anyways,
I want to say in the airplane, they are like. At first, I thought they were in a middle seat, but I see that he's in the.
They have a 3-row, and they just bought the middle row.
Yeah,
they bought the whole row, which is what you do when you have a kid.
Yeah. But sometimes the baby is on her lap, and sometimes the baby is in the baby's own chair, but never is the baby in Jovi's lap, who's just passed out in the window seat, honey. Like, I understand that. Like, I bought myself a toddler-sized feather pillow with its own matching silk pillowcase, and I travel with it, and I always get the window seat so I can like prop it against the window seat and just pass outsies, wowtsies, but barely do I. I actually can't really sleep on a plane, but at least I'll be comfortable for 8 hours. What?
Yeah, I mean, I used to love the idea of traveling with a pillow, and then I realized like how dirty planes are. Like after the pandemic, nothing is the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't do it. It freaks me out. So I don't travel with a pillow anymore, and I hate it. So I have to get over it.
What if you wiped down everything and then you had 2 travel pillowcases, one that you like used there and one that you used back?
Oh, okay, that will work.
Okay, yeah.
So they then get there to Prague, and they get off the plane. They have a little costume change, which I wasn't mad at. And the mother shows up with flowers, and she's crying, and she hugs, and Mila's asleep, and she tells Jovi that the baby looks like him. And Yara's like, wait till she opens her eyes and you'll see if her eyes are like me. And Yara just cannot Yara is like, listen, oh, finally I get to speak my mother tongue. Finally, I don't have to think about the words that are coming out of my mouth. Finally, finally, finally. And I'm happy for her. And um,
That baby is Jovi. That's a Jovi baby. Come on, Yara. Like, where do you? I mean, like, come on.
I can't tell. So she just starts to talk about things in the language. I don't know if they're speaking Russian or Hungarian. I'm not sure. And
Ukrainian.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can Google it. You want to look it up and see what language they speak in Ukraine. So they are having a good time. And Yara says that she doesn't know how long she's going to be in Europe. Like, it's probably not going to be the same amount of time that they had originally planned together. And she's having conversation with her mother about it. And there's a conversation where the mother is like, yeah, I'll take Mila. I'll take her for the whole day. And, oh, great, Ukrainian. Great, great. I'll take her for the whole day. And Yara gives another dig at Miss Gwen. She's like, see, this is what I expected a grandmother to be. I expected the grandmother to be somebody who just like take the baby and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to ask. I don't have to feel awkward. I don't have to feel any of these things that I have to feel with Miss Gwen. So
yeah, that the grandma will also like treat the baby as if the baby is like the grandma's in the sense of like know what the like just take over the care and need of it. Like, you know, like what does the baby need right now? Oh, hungry? Okay. What does baby like need a change? Okay, then that's what's gonna happen. It's not like Yara this or can I help you? It's like you step in to that role in such a way that alleviates the pressure. And as the mother, you know that person's going to do things to your standards as like to take care of like basic things, you know, like that's what I felt like it meant for me or whatever. I must, it was interesting because I was like, okay, so if Mila calls Mrs. Gwen babushka, what is she going to call?
I think it's all babushka.
Okay, does grandma and grandma?
Yeah, I think the word babushka is grandma.
I also loved Mila on the plane, but like not to like just step around, but like they gave her that headset, honey. And then I feel like that she got that monitor. And I feel like a moment with Mila was just like, honey, I'm running shit here. Like I'm flying this plane, like, you know, like, and they were like, Mila, like, put your headset, like, clip it in. She was like, oh, yeah, no, do that. But like, bring me back, honey. Like, she was so good on that plane. Probably, I don't know. Did she cry? Who knows?
I don't think.
But she was so
she
passed out on the way back. It was, yeah. She's, but I think that she's so cute. So,
I love
Jovi driving in Europe is also ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like Jovi is like, don't tell me how to drive. You don't have a license. And she's like, yeah, but I also like am from here. I'm from Europe. She
loves Europe.
Loves it. And here's the truth. If that is where you are from and you go home after 2 years, after having a baby and 2 years of not seeing your family, you are going to love every moment of this. So I understand her desire to stay there and to have conversation about it without Jovi being aware. And he's like, "What are you guys saying on my name over there? You guys talking about me?" And I'm just like, learn the language.
Yeah. I will say this also. I cried when the mother just broke down when she saw them for the first time, you know, because the mother
I didn't cry at all.
Oh, I cried so hard. Because like she hasn't seen her daughter in so long. And then to know that your daughter created like a baby and you haven't seen the baby and you see the baby for the first time. And like they really like kept the sound engineer, all of her weeping in, which like, I mean, really did me in. Like I'm too empathetic, you know, it's just very hard for me. But yeah, I can't wait to like just talk. Like Jovi's just like, I literally can't understand a word you're saying except for my name. And so what I hear is blah, 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 that's more Arabic. Let me hear like bush Jovi, bush Jovi. And so he's like, can you stop saying my name, or can you just like
translate,
not say my name?
And he's like, and Yara's like, no, I'm going to continue on this because you should just learn the language.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to be on Yara's side.
Always.
Yeah.
She can do no wrong. She's the Pope. She's infallible. I think there's something about her that is infallible in my eyes as a character in the universe. Like she is, I think, the moral compass. There's something about her that is just like whatever she says is what it is.
All right, let's move on to Bilal and Shaida. So this is the aftermath of Shaida finding out that she has low ovarian reserve and that she should try to have kids in 6 months, which is what the doctor says. And Bilal hears 6 years. And it's Ramadan. And it's funny because like I know the basics of Ramadan because I work at a place where there are Muslim people, and when Ramadan comes around, we celebrate it, or we celebrate it. We put up decorations the same way we would for like a huge population of people who celebrate whatever, right? Chinese New Year, we celebrate that at my job, to the best of our American ability. We like put decorations up and do all that, right?
That's
So
beautiful.
so I know the basics of Ramadan. But after watching this, I was watching this while I was getting my hair done.
Hmm.
I watched it on my own, but then I was also watching it with my while getting my hair done.
Hmm.
And my like hair lady had like no concept.
Oh, I
Like
know.
when Bilal was explaining like what it was, of course, yeah, he explains it in a way that sounds he explained it in a way that sounded crazy to me. Like it sounded like, oh, that sounds hard, right? And I'm like, but Christians fast. So like Lent, like people fast during Lent. People like Christians that are like in the Black church, we fast all the time in the Black church, all the time, not for no reason. There's no like
Mhm.
celebration around it. It's just like a, hey, you know what? My life is getting really hard, and I feel like I'm not giving as much to the Lord as I could. So I'm gonna fast for the next week, and I'm only gonna drink water and eat after sunset, and and I'm gonna be in my prayer closet like what's her face from the Platteville kids. You know what I'm saying? Like there's the faction of that does fast, but the way he said it made it not relate. Not to say that it should relate because he doesn't obviously know about Christian practices too. But anyway, so it's Ramadan. She has on no eye makeup and she looks like that character from that anime. You know that character from the anime that has like a hood, like black hood on. I think it's from like Spirited Away. And it just has like a face that's white with like two parallel black lines. Like that's what she looks like. And I was just like, oh, baby, I'm gonna need you to put some eyeliner on.
Is that part of it?
No,
Are you sure?
maybe it's in the morning. Maybe it's because it's early in the
I
morning.
wonder if it is like I'm giving up. I'm very vain. I wonder if it was like I don't want to be too vain, so for Ramadan I'll give up makeup.
No, it's the fasting part of it. Now I don't know because I know Muslim women who celebrate Ramadan. They have makeup on, so I'm saying it's not necessarily a part of it as like edict, but I don't know. It could be a personal choice. But
Mhm.
she is wearing makeup at the dinner, so that's why I was thinking no. So he's like, oh, we pray 5 times a day, and my hairdresser was like, oh no, and I was like, girl, Christians pray 5 times a day. If you pray over your meal, that's praying. You pray at least 3 times a day. You pray when you wake up, you pray over every meal, and you pray when you go to sleep. So it's so interesting to me that like you'll hear someone say something and not think about how you do the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I'm like, girl, if you're a Christian, you pray 5 times a day too. You may not like get out a prayer rug and like, say a thing.
Face a certain way.
Yeah, but you definitely pray 5 times a day. It's just so crazy how like people love to judge the Muslims, and I just not hear about it.
Yeah, I read, 3 times a day, your God is good, God is great, so we'll thank him for our play. We're going to thank him morning, noon, and night. We're going to thank him because he's out of sight, literally. Amen, 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 amen.
Oh my God, is that a Catholic thing?
No, but it's like I don't know, just like a,
Oh, I've
like,
never heard that song.
is it a Catholic thing? You tell me. I don't know.
But I mean, Black church is like, this is the day that the Lord hath made. I mean, that's a hymnal, like you sing that in church. But like, I mean, I sing it in my off times too. I'll be driving and I'm like, nah, and I'm not even Christian anymore. It's just like it's catchy.
It's in there.
Yeah, it's catchy. So, anyways, but like so they did that, and he's like, we fast to show how close we can get to the Lord. I'm like, it's the same fasting the Christians do when they feel like things are kind of out of whack and they want to like pay penance to Jesus Christ or to the Lord. They'll fast, whatever.
Yeah.
So in Ramadan, you fast from sun up to sundown. So usually sundown that's when you break your fast. That's when you have your first meal and your first drink of water or whatnot. Usually you start out with dates and a little bit of some kind of like Gatorade. You could do that, or some kind of tea, sugar, water situation. And almonds is something that you also eat when you break your fast, so that you're just not like scarfing down food. You know what I'm saying? So get your body prepared for food. But dates are the thing that's the most interesting. But they're cooking. And I was looking at that food and I said, that food looked bomb. Whatever he was grilling looked like it was going to be delicious. And then I didn't like the way he had to talk shit about her barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. But she did put, okay, so she chopped a bunch of like scallions and then put like some chopped garlic in a food processor. With shrimp. And that was, so I was like, I didn't understand what that was going to be.
I don't know. My thought was she could have like, I don't know, added it to the macaroni I don't know. I don't know what she was making. I thought maybe it was like a Trinidadian thing.
So it was interesting because then when they actually ate, it was like looked like ribs.
Yeah, it looked like there were different types of soul food there. I saw macaroni and cheese, I saw beans, everything without pork, obviously. So it was just like a lot of different types of food. I'm pretty sure Nefertari and the mother brought food too.
Okay.
So it was just like a family meal, because they've all been fasting. So it's like this time where like family becomes really important, that people want to be home, be with their family, to eat their only meal of the day and enjoy that. And then like it's like a whole like beautiful month of like just celebration in your faith and family.
Yeah, and the one thing that he has told her that she can't do is ruin it by talking about babies.
Yeah, which is crazy because like it's not ruining it. And he hasn't talked about it to her at all, and he's using Ramadan as an excuse to not talk to her about it. And so she ends up having a conversation at the dinner table trying to like talk about it, and she's like, I would like hope that we could start a family. Now this is stuff I don't like. I don't like that she says things in front of his family with like trying to get them to be on her side. Like I wish that she would just say it with her full chest. Like, hey guys, I have an announcement to make. We went to the doctor and the doctor told me that I have low AMH. And so I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to have kids. Bill?
What if he just turned into like Gail or something like that? You're just like, and like, then you're like, I don't just like your thoughts.
Yeah.
Just like, and you.
That is what she should do, as opposed to like lightly trying to like do something. If she wants their help in getting Bilal to agree with it, she just needs to be heavy-handed with it. And then if at that point he refuses to, then the whole entire family knows that she did everything she could. So when she divorces him, he knows why. Like this whole idea, like, I mean, unless Bilal really feels like, you know what, Shida, I'm truly not ready to have a kid. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's just freeze your eggs and let's just create embryos. And in 3 years, we're gonna use a surrogate. Or whatever. Like come up with a plan.
Yeah.
That isn't just I'm sorry, we just can't try until 3 years.
Yes. That's I think the more masculine head of the household thing to do is find the solution, like, but I feel like it's interesting because I've been watching a lot of like Sister Wives too, and that patriarch also, Cody Brown, is losing track of the entire family because he's not being assertive with solutions. He is just running away from the problems or avoiding or using whatever, and so because he didn't take the active role in like what to do next, it's like he's lost track of the family. And like with Bilal, I feel like that's exactly what he should do, is he should like present the solution instead of just being like, we already have a family. You know what she means, you know, like, and so, yeah, basically, then the sister is like, I had a baby at 43. And
that's probably what he's banking on, which is crazy because like I've had people say that too, like, oh, you'll be fine because this person I know over here had their baby at whatever. What does that person over there have to do with the woman in front of you?
Yes.
Nothing. And I also was really, really interested in knowing about Nefertari's, like, did it just take her that long? Did she do help? Did she have medical help? Was it because she just wasn't married that entire time and so she couldn't have kids? Like, I want to know more details surrounding her situation, mainly because like, my fertility issues, but I realize now that women are so particular about sharing their fertility issues and I just don't understand it, but go ahead.
Well, I do understand it. I think that, there's different, they seem like modest people, but yeah, it's interesting that someone will just bring up someone and be like, that probably, stands for you too. Like, like, oh, you are tired. You don't want to go to work. Like, well, there was this woman called the Queen of England who had a bunch of like money and she didn't have to always work. So like, can you imagine just like drawing a parallel between you and just some other person without any sort of, okay. So basically let's move on.
Hot your food. I want to talk about the fact that he's always doing things to her. Like he's always telling her that the words that she's saying in English is not correct. Like he really is very American imperialist in that manner, where he's like, oh, well, you don't say hot your food. In the US, you say warm up your food. Try and say it, babe. Say warm up your food. No, Bilal, let this woman say hot your food. That's so interesting. It's like he's just like grossly American. It's gross.
I wonder if she'd be like, oh no, babe, I'm good. I'm going to say hot your food, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like one time being like, Like,
really,
I'm good, actually. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but I can tell that you understand it, so.
he really just thinks that she is this, but this guy is disgusting. Walking around with no shoes on, walking his dogs, like what an animal.
Okay.
Um, I just,
There's a
he's
person with no shoes on, she's right.
yeah, we're
Um,
at a very fancy fucking hotel, and there is a person outside with like board shorts on, walking two little dogs, white dogs, and he has no shoes on. Trash. So, anyways, um, I just hate the fact that he tries to belittle her and change her based on the terminology she uses, as though she is the little girl from the banana boat, and he's teaching her how to be like American and better.
mhm.
I hate it.
Yeah, it like extends to everything like, "Oh, you don't know that you don't want a child. I know you don't want a child. You don't know about the postpartum depression. I know about that. Let me teach you," like it's a lot of
He's like,
it.
let me lead because I know everything, and then he's gonna lead them right to hell.
Hell, honey.
So, speaking of hell, let's
On
go
a
on.
highway to hell.
Let's go to Kim and Usman. So, this woman is being told that she's bribing. You're just all out of the frame. You don't want to be in the frame.
Oh, sorry, when you were okay, yeah.
And so, this woman is sitting up in this other woman's house, acting like she ought to be given a fair shot because they are judging her based on someone else. What world do you live in which you don't judge someone based on someone of you from your same country and your same race? Like,
I know.
why would they not judge you for baby girl Lisa's mistakes? You're the same generation, just on different coasts.
Exactly. If he showed up in America, you would have friends who'd be like, "Oh, this Nigerian man is coming to like, and he's younger than you," and like they would judge him. And she's like, "No one in my life, any one of my friends or family members would ever," she's bananas. So,
She's like, how dare you think that? How dare you think that I'm trying to bribe her? I'm not. It wasn't meant as
yeah,
a bribe. And honestly, like, I'll go home. If you guys don't want me, I'll go home. And they're like, oh, great, do that. Go home. And she's just like, with her pursed lips, as though, like, girl, I don't care how old you are, you have come into this woman's house this woman is older than you. You're in their house, on their land, trying to marry their son, brother. And you have the audacity to have some kind of hubris about who you are. And like, if any of my friends and family were to hear that someone told me that I was using them as a bribe, they would be very upset because they would know that's not who I am. Girl, what?
they don't know that.
Yeah.
You're crazy. Yeah, the mom, it was like literally last episode had prayed, like, may God take this woman away from us. And then so when she like finally gives her judgment, which is like, no, he's to marry a housewoman first. Honey, the mom's like, mic drop, I'm leaving. And by I'm leaving, get the F out of my house. The sons have to be like, okay, well, she's done. No, and like by she's done, she just like literally gets up and walks out. And like Kim's even like, no, I can see that. I can see that she's no longer sitting on this fancy couch.
Yeah, she's like, this is my choice. What you have to do is you have to marry a housewoman first, and then you can marry Kim, but you need to have kids. And please apologize to her on my behalf, but have this woman leave my home.
She can keep the cow. I mean, the cow can stay.
It is just like wild that Kim is so like, oh, well, I never. And then Usman isn't even translating the way he needs to translate, which is why I think like the brother is. They're like, okay, can you please? Yeah, it's time to go. So she's like, oh, so she gets up, they go, and they get in the car, and she's like, I was on my best behavior. So I should get an award for that. He's like, you get double yummy for that tonight.
Double yummy. He becomes like, in this car ride, he like senses that she's upset. And so he becomes like the sweetest version of Usman we've ever seen. Like in the face of his mom, like rejecting, Usman's like, what a weird thing. The mom's like, we can't marry you. And he's like, okay, I'm going to make her feel better by just like D'ing her down, maybe because in his mind is like, maybe it's one last time. I don't know. Like, why? I don't understand why this has happened. Like, it's such a weird thing to whisper in her ear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess he must be attracted to her in some way. The fact that he could actually like get up and have sex with her. So, I mean, I guess that's true. Cause I can continuously think that Usman is somebody who doesn't understand what love is. Like, he doesn't understand love that's outside of familial love. Like, I don't know that any woman he ever marries, he will love them in at least the Western sense of the word. Like, he will never like the shoeless man has walked by again.
Yeah, but it's like
he won't like sometimes when I hear about folks talking about, oh, I love this person, I love that person, like the Western idea of like love and being in love is so kind of specific. It's like a feeling in your body, it's like a draw you have towards someone. It's a choice and not a choice, whereas in other cultures sometimes it's merely a choice and you're just like, I'm gonna love this person, I'm gonna be there by them side and take care of them, and they're gonna be my wife. And I just feel like the way he talks about Kim to her face is just indicative of the fact that he actually doesn't love her.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think I yeah, no, he is almost a martyr in his mind for even
Hmm.
being with her.
Yeah.
Like he deserves it's like almost as a sense of sort of spiritual cleanse and talk about fasting. Doing without for him is almost like a righteousness in his mind.
Yeah.
And Kim is for him in the way that he says it, the doing without to an nth degree. So basically, he is like so it's weird. So yes, in this car ride home, he's like very very warm and blah blah blue, and then the next morning they have a conversation about like what happened, and basically, Kim is like, I will not be a second wife. I won't be wife number two. I will only be the first wife because in my mind, you told me that the first wife is who he loves, blah blah blue, and the second wife is like the handmaid's tale, lies in the middle of my legs and gives birth to their babies. I'll never meet the babies, don't care about her, like it's that situation. And he's like, no, 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 like we just that's what I would have that's what you made up in your mind. You could have been wife number one, but now we realize you can't be wife number one, so you'd have to be wife number two. And if you want to be with me, like let's do this. And she's like, that's not the solution I want. You're like, like that's not it for me. And he takes it as a huge offense because he's like, you're not going to break up with me over this. You're not going to not take wife number two because I am all ready to be with you, giving up so much. I've already sacrificed and compromised, but you need to compromise on this. If you want to be with me, you're now going to be wife number two.
Yeah. He's like, I have so many lovely ladies in my DMs asking me and wanting to be with me, and they're rich too. And how dare you walk away and say you would break up with me because you don't want to be wife number two? Like,
Hmm.
I'm not, I don't, she can walk away. I'm not
Hmm.
losing anything by not having you in their life. Like, I've already put aside beauty and glamour and a skinny body who can birth children and flawless skin and great teeth to be with you.
She's
So
like, I'm not pretty. I'm not hot. So you're not attracted to me. So I'm so ugly. Am I so ugly? It's like, so then it's like gets to that point
yeah,
where it's like,
yeah, ma'am.
ooh, shit.
He,
Oh,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah, Kim. There are 53-year-old women who look
not like you.
not like you.
But here's the thing. See, here's the thing. It's
They
just
don't walk like you. They're not knock-kneed.
I don't think that Kimberly is ugly. I just think that she like I think because I also think that where she Kimberly isn't ugly in the sense that like she is a fun spirited person and so she radiates a certain amount of warmth and joy that like should account for something and it does. And I like her a lot and in other ways in which I feel like she livens up a room. But also feel like that you're dating someone who's massively younger than you, and like I think that for Jenny and Sumit also this could be like a conversation of like they if they're cognizant about the like what the difference is, then they are and they're in maybe like not give they are kind of giving up something. Like if they're cognizant of the difference.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Kim. There are 51-year-old women who have kept up with themselves, and Kim has not. She just hasn't, and that is my opinion of that. And maybe just because I don't know, she hasn't. I know these 53-year-old women, they are fab, right? So Kim is not that, and so to me, so he is, but he's still insulting her, and it's rude for him to say that to her in front of her face, because she's like, what am I, just like whatever? But yeah, I mean, just like I mean, you're in Africa, girl. You're surrounded by a lot of beautiful women. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and the fact that I guess you are a fan of this person who is like, an artist and therefore like does a bunch of like work and gets, amount of like talent poon just thrown at him. That's what
Yeah, it's
happens,
just like a lot of status. There's a lot of status surrounding him, and like having a wife that looks a certain way that you don't have that look. So what I do love is that she stands her ground when it comes to what it is that she wants. Now, this whole first wife, second wife thing is a silly argument because if she had done any of her research and she'd watched Big Love or any show that talks about polygamy, you know that being the first wife married doesn't like, Mary's the first wife, right? But Robin is the wife he loves, and that's the fourth wife.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't even need to be. It doesn't matter what number wife you are. You just need to be the wife that takes over. You need to be the wife that's in control. You need to be the wife that is on his right side. You need to be the wife that is going to whisper in his ear and tell him what to do. You need to be the wife that's going to keep him satisfied. Now, you're not necessarily going to be the wife that are going to be in all the pictures, but you're gonna be his right hand. And she's like, you'll never find anybody more loyal to me. I always think it's so interesting when people use the word loyal when it comes to being in a relationship with their partner. Because I think to myself,
what does that mean?
What does it mean? Like, do you mean like not cheating? Okay. Many people won't cheat, but what is loyal? What loyalty is like what you give to a king. Loyalty is fealty and things like that is what you give to a powerful person who has a lot. So yes, if you were a wife of one of four and you were the most loyal wife, that means that you're the wife that cares about his needs the most. That makes sense. But if it's only one wife, why do you need to be loyal?
Okay, so loyalty means like allegiance to. An allegiance to means that like a ride or die, whatever you need in any situation, I'm there. If like, shit, whatever, whatever you need, I'm there. Whatever has to happen, I'm gonna make it happen for you. So if we are going to a dinner and you need to network with people, like I'm charming everyone I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I'm charming the wives of people that that you need to talk to. So like we're getting in, like there's that. There's of course the fidelity aspect, which we've talked about. Like,
but very few men are the men in the positions in which you were talking about. And so therefore they don't need loyal wives because most wives aren't expected to throw dinner parties and to, schmooze at galas. Like that is a very specific wife you need. Or
I'm that wife. Listen, if you know a man that needs that kind of wife, that's me. I'm a schmoozer at galas.
Yeah. That is a very specific thing. So I hate it when they say it when the guy isn't like a mogul.
There's my gala updo.
Okay, so Usman says that he cannot marry without the proper blessing, and then this is where it ensues, where he insults her, and she goes off to the room crying, and she says that she won't be anybody's second anything ever again in her life, and that she won't let a man take advantage of her. And the thing is though, like she's not going to stick to her guns. Like I know she's not, because she wants to be with him. Otherwise, she just wouldn't have got so upset and walked away. She would, because she said, "Listen, if that's what you want, then I love you, but I'm going to get on the plane and go home."
Yeah.
And when he said the horrible things that he said, she wasn't able just to go, "Okay, I'm going to go home, but I do love you. And I'm so sorry that I can't give you what you want." And just go home. But she storms off crying because like she wants to give him what he wants. But then, it's just like too much. Like just,
ooh, yeah, I see that point.
You see, just like choose. Let it just be the choice and just stick with the choice. It may hurt, but I don't know. I hate people get extra emotional when they don't need to.
She really loves him though. That's what she said. She really loves him. So we'll see what happens with that one. I mean, it's a sad journey for them. Like it didn't really look like it was ever going to work out anyway.
All right, let's move on to Sumit and Jenny.
You've been saving the best for last.
Oh, bruh. Indian music is playing, so we know that it's Sumit and Jenny. So Sumit gets up in the morning and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to go visit with my parents. Do you want to come with me?" And Jenny's like, "No, I'm going to stay here and clean."
Okay, I want to talk about this for a second because he had taken out all his stuff. I remember how he folded it so well, and he had left her stuff in the suitcase. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm just going to leave my stuff in the suitcase." And he's like, I don't know where you're going to put your stuff. He's like, "Okay." Like Jenny doesn't want to move 1 inch, want to move a finger. And like, I always think it's weird when people like travel together and pack in the same suitcase. Like Juan and I like traveled separately to this hotel room, so we have separate suitcases, but I can't imagine just like packing one suitcase because I always need my own suitcase. Anyway, God bless. I will also say this. Yeah, like Jenny makes it seem like, yeah, I'm not gonna go hang out with your family. I just like have someone, I'm gonna like do some cleaning around here. And it's just so funny to me that you're gonna use the cleaning to get around like seeing his parents. They go into the kitchen and then I looked at that kitchen to see like what's happening there. It did look cleaner, but there's still a bunch of like there's still stuff on the counter. Like
but there's now stuff on the shelves and everything too.
Yeah.
It's double stuff. So he's like, I'm gonna go visit with my family, and he goes to the family, and then he is greeted by 3
Okay.
people,
Yeah.
not 4 people. And these 3 people, one of which has contacts on and a pink bow. It was very Chris Farrah, except for the contacts.
Ah! God. That's rude.
That pink bow is you. You would be.
Why?
What are you talking about? Why? Chris, you are a grown woman who wears a bow in their hair. You
Oh,
do.
a big bow. A big bow. It's always a bigger bow. I don't wear little baby Mila bows.
You would though.
No, I would not.
That's a lie.
I would not wear baby Mila bows.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't trust. I don't believe that. I don't know that to be true.
Oh
So
my
basically, he's greeted by his auntie, and the auntie is like, "Yeah, no, your mother couldn't come because she's absolutely wrecked and devastated. Like the neighbors and the family are just making fun of your parents so hard. They're calling and being like, I heard Submit got married. Why didn't you invite me?" Like literally, I feel so bad for Sumit's family, honestly, because marriages in, I guess, their culture and community are community events. They're events that people get invited to. They're big. It's a whole celebration. It's just like it's like Christmas. It's a thing you do every year. It's a thing, it's a celebration. It's like a big thing, marriages. And in a way that it's a celebration here for us, but like I feel like here in the States, people's kids don't get married. Right? People, and also one, two, only a certain class of people, parents pay for their kids' marriages. Like most of the time, children pay for their own marriages because we're just not set up in the way of that. And so culturally in India, it's just the family's duty to pay for a marriage. It's, you invite everybody because it's about like it's like a birth, you just like taking on the next generation, and it's just like a huge family event, right? And so Jenny doesn't understand that. But Sumit does. Sumit understands it. But the community is now making fun of his mother. His mother cannot see the light of day.
The mother is like just crying so much at the aunt's like, she looks drunk or high, and she's just like always like, it's like in so much distress. I'm like, oh my God, God bless. They're really putting it thick on Sumit. Like, that like this is like ruining everything. The sister is like they're like even talking more than the sisters ever talk. The sister-in-law talked more than the brother. The brother, like, I don't even know how he has a voice, honey.
Yeah. The sister-in-law is like, yeah, this is crazy. Like and they're all kind of swept up in it too, right? I imagine the sister-in-law is like a little embarrassed about Jenny too, but she's more modern. So she's like, okay, I get it. I understand both things. But he's, then she brings up the fact that, you know what, Jenny can't have kids. And this is also a shameful thing too. The truth is Sumit doesn't want kids, but he tells them that he's going to look into surrogacy. And I'm like, how much is surrogacy in India? Do I need to go and like live in India for a couple of months? Get me a surrogate?
When you first said that, I was like, is she gonna be a surrogate? Or is she gonna, like, I was like, how much is she gonna make money there? Or is she gonna, like, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe. So basically, I mean, you can get great hair there. Anyway, God bless. Yeah, like it's he then of course says that he's gonna talk to Jenny about it, but he has not talked to Jenny about it yet. And the sister-in-law is like, you haven't talked to her about it yet? Clocking that.
Yeah,
and that's super super crazy. Then the aunt goes in. The aunt is like mission kill, and then is like, you have to talk to your parents. It's not about Jenny. So you are the one it's not about your parents. It's like you. And like at first I was like, well, it's a little bit on the parents to kind of like come to their senses.
No, you're being American. You're being American. You got to throw away that.
The reason why I say this is only because we're on season like 6 of this show. Like the parents have been on for like, the past whatever, like 2 seasons at least, right? 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. Like what show was the parents thinking that they were on? Like that whole time when they signed release forms and stuff, and like and those release forms had to be also printed in Indian so they can understand what they're like signing legally. Like what show did they think they were on? Was it Wipeout?
Well, the thing is that like you're still thinking with an American mindset. These people are going to hold to their guns because at the very least, mm-hmm. they can say that they never accepted Jenny, even though the mother did totally accept her on
national television.
But like this is a huge thing that as Americans at this point, we just have to recuse ourselves from the conversation because we've been talking about Jenny and Sumit and Sumit's parents, house boots. Like we've been talking about them over and over again. And now the fact that they don't show up to this taping and they send the aunt instead to tell him how royally he's fucked up and how everyone is laughing at them. Like, I don't understand it. And I'm not going to try to understand it nor explain it away. I'm just going to say Sumit really hurt his family And I just think that in order for it to make it right, the only way he can make it right is to divorce Jenny.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have kids," and they're like, "When?" And he's like, "When she dies." And that's what I thought he was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
I honestly thought he was going to say when she dies. And then he's like, I'm talking to Jenny about maybe us doing a surrogate. And the aunt is like, Jenny can't take care of kids. She can barely get up and move around and clean her own house.
Yeah.
She cannot take care of an infant.
Yeah, you're insane.
That's a crazy thought. They're like, we know how old she is. She's 63. She might as well be 73. She's not going to be running around behind a 10-year-old, 11-year-old at 74. Like, it is crazy. He's just like, okay, I got to figure out a way to make them happy. And this is the way I'm just going to say that this is what's going to, it's like, no, Simit, that's not what's going to happen.
He must have really hated that wife that he, got married to. Like,
he just really loved Jenny.
I really, like, I also just want to know so bad what that woman was like what that relationship was like. Yeah. God, it's so interesting.
Yeah. All right. Oh, this is the picture of Shida I wanted to show you guys, of where she looks like that little anime character. So now think of her face as just being fully white, and then think of there being like black parallel lines just right here, and like maybe a red lip. Like that is what that anime character looks like. Okay.
Halloween.
Y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us. It's my birthday weekend, so if you guys want to drop a little something in the funds for my birthday, if you're like, dang, well, I wish I could help you celebrate your birthday, you could do so. You could cash at me at $Wahima, or you can Venmo me at Wahima/Lino, dash Lino. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But otherwise, you could join us on Patreon at patreon.com/DocuSweeties.
Or you can follow us on our social media, which is DocuSweeties on Instagram, DocuSweeties1 on Instagram's friend TikTok. Just kidding.
Frenemy.
I know. But like it's so funny because like I see a lot of just TikTok reels on Instagram, and then DocuSweeties1 on TikTok, DocuSweeties1 on Twitter. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, for subscribing. And I just saw that too. And for subscribing, God. I know. Say it.
Rest in peace, Leslie Jordan.
Yeah,
I didn't even know I didn't know he was sick.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh
either.
My God, Leslie Jordan. So you guys would know him. He's an actor. Look him up. Very short guy, lovable guy. He got really popular during the pandemic by saying, "Well, shit, how y'all doing?"
I know. The greatest Instagram. That's really sad. What a brilliant comedic actor. Okay, my loves. But have a beautiful rest of your day. And then my last thing I was going to say is that our Live After Lockup is coming up. So definitely love during lockup and that's happening. So to that, rate 5 stars and have a blessed rest of your day. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.